What connects a dead, dancing frog to your car battery? How did a bottle of perfume invent the engine? Why did a blind man create cruise control? And what about the exploding traffic lights, the puddle of waste that became fuel, or the deadly crank that broke jaws? From forgotten toys to Hollywood stars and kitchen disasters, the history of the car is stranger than fiction. Welcome to the Synapse TV. Here, we trace the invisible connections of history. Let's fire the first impulse and connect the past to your present. The year is 1780, Bologna, Italy. We are in the laboratory of Luigi Galvani. It is a dark, stormy night, the perfect setting for a ghost story. But this isn't magic. It is science. Galvani is dissecting a frog on a table next to an electrostatic machine. Suddenly, his assistant touches an exposed nerve with a metal scalpel while a spark flies from the machine. The dead frog's leg kicks violently. It looks like it has come back to life. Galvani calls it animal electricity. But his rival, Alessandro Volta, realizes the truth. It wasn't the frog. It was the chemical reaction between two different metals. This argument leads Volta to stack zinc and copper discs, creating the world's first battery. Without that twitching frog, there is no spark, no ignition, and no way to start a car. But a spark is useless without a machine to move, and for that, we missed our chance by 2,000 years. Let's rewind the synapse to the 1st century AD, Alexandria. Here, the genius engineer Hero unveils the aeolipile. It is a metal sphere that spins rapidly, powered by jets of steam. It is the world's first thermal engine, a true marvel. But do the Romans use it to build a steam chariot? Do they mechanize the empire? No. They think it's just a toy, a party trick to amuse the wealthy at banquets. History's greatest invention spins uselessly on a table while civilization continues to walk. Humanity had the engine and the roads, but lacked the imagination to connect them. The synapse strikes in 1673, Paris. Here, the famous mathematician Christian Huygens is staring at a weapon of war, the cannon. He realizes that a cannon is essentially a single-stroke engine. It uses fire to create motion, and he asks a dangerous question. Can we tame this explosion? He builds a vertical metal cylinder and loads it with gunpowder. He lights the fuse. The goal is not to kill, but to create power. Boom! The blast is trapped. Instead of shooting a cannonball, the explosion pushes a heavy piston upward. It works! He has captured the force of a bomb inside a cage. This is the great-grandfather of your car. Your modern engine is just a machine gun that shoots thousands of times a minute, but the bullets never leave the barrel. However, there is a problem. Gunpowder is filthy. The cylinder chokes on black soot and ash. The machine stops. The idea was perfect, but the fuel was wrong. Pennsylvania, USA, the birth of the oil age. But make no mistake, nobody is thinking about cars. They are drilling for light. The world wants kerosene to fuel lamps. To get it, refineries boil crude oil. But this process creates a byproduct, a clear, smelly, unstable liquid. It is too explosive for lamps. If you put it in a lantern, it blows up in your face. It is considered dangerous and absolutely useless. So, refineries dump it by the ton into nearby rivers, or they burn it in massive pits just to get rid of it. They call this garbage, gasoline. Think about it. For 50 years, the liquid gold that powers our entire civilization was treated like toxic waste. The fuel was waiting. It just needed a spark. 1839, Massachusetts. We have the engine and we have the fuel, but we still can't move. Why? Because early wheels were made of wood or iron. They were brutal. Enter Charles Goodyear, a man obsessed with rubber. But there was a problem. Raw rubber was useless. In the summer, it melted into a sticky slime. In the winter, it froze and shattered like glass. Goodyear went bankrupt trying to fix it. He even went to jail for debt. His family was starving, but he kept mixing chemicals in his kitchen. Then, the accident happened. During an argument, or perhaps just clumsy, he dropped a mixture of rubber and sulfur onto a hot stove. Instead of melting, it charred. It became tough, like leather, yet stayed elastic. He called it vulcanization, after the god of fire. Because of this kitchen disaster, your car can grip the road at 100 miles per hour. He didn't just invent a material. He invented traction. 1893, Germany. Wilhelm Maybach has a headache. He has the engine and the fuel, but the machine is choking. The problem is physics. Liquid gasoline burns too slowly. To get a powerful explosion, you need to mix it with air. You need a vapor, a cloud. Maybach is stuck. Until one day, he watches a woman getting ready in front of a mirror. She picks up a bottle of perfume and squeezes the bulb. Psst, psst. He watches the liquid turn into a fine, beautiful mist that hangs in the air. That's it. The atomizer. He runs to his workshop and builds a metal throat for the engine that sprays fuel just like that perfume bottle. He calls it the Carburetor. It is ironic. The roaring, masculine engines of the 20th century all breathe because of a delicate lady's accessory. 1903, Paris. The automobile is becoming faster, but also deadlier. In accidents, standard glass windshields shatter into razor-sharp daggers. Drivers are being scarred for life. Enter Edouard Benedictus, a chemist, artist, and a clumsy man. One day, working in his lab, he accidentally knocks a glass flask off a high shelf. He freezes, waiting for the crash. The flask hits the hard floor. Clink, but no explosion of shards? Benedictus picks it up. The glass is broken, cracked into a spiderweb, but the pieces are held together. The flask is still in one piece. He realizes the flask contained dried liquid plastic, cellulose nitrate. It coated the inside with an invisible film that held the glass together. He calls it triplex, a glass sandwich that stays strong even when broken. Thanks to his clumsiness, millions of drivers today can walk away from a crash without a scratch. 1908, Detroit. The car is safe inside thanks to safety glass, but starting it is still a battle. To start an engine, you have to hand crank it. It requires brute force. But if the engine backfires, the heavy iron handle spins backward instantly. It breaks thumbs, wrists, and arms. One winter day, Byron Carter, a close friend of the founder of Cadillac, stops to help a woman whose car has stalled. Being a gentleman, he grabs the crank. But the engine kicks back. The handle strikes him in the jaw, shattering it. He dies from the infection weeks later. Heartbroken, the head of Cadillac vows, the car will kill no more men. He hires the genius engineer Charles Kettering. Kettering replaces the deadly handle with a small electric motor. Now, a child can start a V8 monster. The crank is gone, and for the first time, the road is truly open to everyone. 1933, England. The car is now easy to start, but driving at night is a death trap. Streetlights are rare. In the countryside, When the notorious British fog rolls in, the road simply disappears. Drivers drive off cliffs or into trees because they can't see where the asphalt ends. Percy Shaw is driving home on a winding road. The fog is blinding. He is terrified. He is inches away from crashing. Suddenly, his headlights catch two tiny glowing dots floating in the darkness. He slams on the brakes. It is a cat, sitting on a fence. Its eyes are reflecting the light back at him, marking the edge of the road. Shaw realizes the road needs eyes. He invents the cat's eye, a simple glass reflector set into the asphalt. Today, billions of these tiny glass beads light up highways around the world. A stray cat didn't just save Percy Shaw, it saved the entire world from driving in the dark.
1945. Indiana. We take vision for granted. But the next great leap in automotive history came from a man who lived in total darkness. Ralph Teeter was a brilliant engineer. He was also completely blind. One day, he is riding in a car with his lawyer. Ralph notices something annoying. When the lawyer talks, he slows down. When he listens, he speeds up. The car is jerking back and forth. For a blind man with heightened senses, this rocking motion is unbearable. It makes him sick. He thinks, why can't the machine hold a steady speed itself? Using his sense of touch, he designs a mechanism that locks the throttle. He calls it the speedostat. Today, we call it cruise control. It is ironic. A man who could not see the road taught the car how to drive itself. 1923. The roads are depressing. Look at any photo from that era. Every single car is black. Henry Ford famously said, any color, as long as it's black. But this wasn't about style. It was about patience. In the early days, car paint was made from vegetable oil. It took 3 weeks to dry, can you imagine? Huge warehouses filled with wet cars just sitting there gathering dust. But at the DuPont Chemical Lab, an accident changed everything. Chemists were working with gun cotton, an explosive used in artillery shells. They accidentally left a barrel of this dangerous liquid open in the hot sun. When they returned, they expected a disaster. Instead, they found a miracle. The liquid hadn't exploded. It had hardened into a tough, shiny film. Instantly, they realized we can paint cars with liquid explosives. They called it nitrocellulose lacquer. It dried in minutes, not weeks. Suddenly, the world turned from black and white into Technicolor. 1959. Sweden. Cars are fast, but crashes are brutal. In a collision, drivers are thrown through windshields or crushed against steering wheels. Volvo hires a new safety engineer, Niels Bolin. But Bolin isn't a car guy. He comes from the aerospace industry. He designed ejection seats for fighter jets at Saab. He knows all about G-forces. He realizes the old lap belts in cars are dangerous. They can snap a person's spine in a crash. He applies pilot safety logic to the family car. He draws a V shape, one strap across the chest, one across the hips. The 3-point seatbelt. It is perfect. It holds the body safely by its strongest bones. Volvo patents it. They could have made billions. But then, they do something unheard of. They decide that this invention is too important to keep. They give the patent away for free, to Ford, to GM, to everyone. Volvo puts human life above profit. Today, every car in the world uses Bolin's design. It has saved over 1 million lives. 1983. The Cold War. The world is on the edge of nuclear destruction. The US military builds a secret network of satellites called GPS. But this technology is not for finding a pizza place. It is designed to guide nuclear missiles and spy planes with pinpoint accuracy. It is strictly for the military. Then, tragedy strikes. A civilian plane, Korean Airlines Flight 007, accidentally drifts off course into Soviet airspace. Because the pilots have no precise navigation, they don't know they are lost. The plane is shot down. Everyone on board is lost. The world is in shock. President Ronald Reagan realizes that this tragedy could have been prevented if the pilots had access to the military's satellite network. He issues a historic order. He opens the GPS signal to the public for free. The technology meant for war becomes a tool for peace. Today, that same military network guides your car to work every morning. The spy in the sky is now your co-pilot. 1913, Chicago. Henry Ford has a problem. He wants to build cars for everyone, not just the rich. But building one car takes 12 hours. It is too slow and too expensive. He looks for inspiration in a strange place, the Chicago slaughterhouses. He watches how they process meat. The butchers don't move. The cows hang on moving hooks and travel to the butchers. It is a disassembly line. Fast, efficient, brutal. Ford has a revelation. He thinks, what if we reverse the process? He returns to Detroit and builds the assembly line. Instead of disassembling meat, he assembles machines. The chassis moves. The workers stand still. The time to build a car drops from 12 hours to 90 minutes. The price drops. Suddenly, the average worker can buy what he builds. The modern industrial world was born, thanks to a butcher's hook. 1868, London. The streets are chaos, not with cars, but with horses and carriages. Pedestrians are being trampled. To save lives, the city installs a revolutionary device outside Parliament, the world's first traffic light. But there is no electricity yet. It uses gas lamps. Red for stop, green for go. It must be operated manually by a police officer standing next to it. For 3 weeks, it works perfectly. Traffic is tamed. Then, disaster. A gas leak inside the lamp goes unnoticed. The officer tries to change the light. Boom! The traffic light explodes in his face. The policeman is critically injured. The invention is declared a public danger. Traffic lights are banned from London for the next 50 years. It wasn't until the electric bulb came along that we dared to try again. The first guardian of the road was literally a ticking time bomb. 1952, Pennsylvania. John Hetrick is driving his family for a Sunday picnic. Suddenly, a boulder appears in the road. He slams the brakes and throws his arm out to protect his daughter. They are safe, but shaken. Hetrick realizes, my arm is not enough to stop a human body flying forward. He remembers his time in the Navy during World War II. He worked with torpedoes. Before a torpedo was launched, a canvas cover would accidentally inflate instantly with compressed air. It was soft, fast, and cushioned the impact. He wonders, can I put a torpedo launcher inside a steering wheel? He sketches the first safety cushion, a system that uses a controlled explosion to inflate a bag in 30 milliseconds. Car companies laughed at him. They said it would scare drivers, but Hetrick persisted. Today, the airbag is standard. Every time it deploys, it is essentially a tiny, life-saving torpedo explosion right in your face. From a dead frog in Italy to a life-saving torpedo in your dashboard. We have traced the invisible connections of history. If you have watched until this point, then the signal has successfully reached you. You are part of the network now. So hit the like button to keep the impulse alive. And let me know in the comments below, which discovery blew your mind the most?